Greatest country in the world, baby. Always is, always will be. Nothing beats being American, living in America. All this gun reform and everything else, the only thing I got to say about the whole thing is I own an AR-15. I keep it locked up in a safe. Just saying, I own one. I don't understand what goes through these people's minds when they do these horrible atrocities and these school shootings and everything else, and even the ambushing on police. And I really honestly don't understand it, and I don't think I ever will. I don't think anybody ever will. What goes through a person's mind when they act out. But I do know that there are plenty of law-abiding citizens in this country who own firearms who would never, ever take part in anything like that. I mean, ever. We don't own firearms because we're looking to hurt people. And I don't really think that the millions of law-abiding citizens should have to pay for the atrocities committed by others. But at the same time, I don't ever want to hear about another child in America being shot while attending public school, or being shot, period. I don't want this to ever happen again. I don't. And it's unfortunate that these killers decide to use these particular weapons, because it's not the weapon that they use, it's the mindset, it's the person holding the gun. I know in my heart that if all these murders were being done with a different weapon, then we'd be talking about that weapon. The point is that I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe that Americans should have the right to own a firearm, especially if you're a good person and law-abiding. But at the same time, I don't know what we can do as a country to curb, stop, and end these shootings. I don't know what we can do as a country. I really don't understand. I mean, I do understand why why everybody marched on this weekend, and I stand behind you 100%. But I don't know why we're choosing this one particular weapon. I mean, other than the fact that I know that they were used in all these shootings, it's just the fact that there are a plethora of other weapons. If we take one away, then what's next when someone walks into a school with a 9mm, or someone walks into school with a 30-06, or someone walks into school with a shotgun? That's what bothers me, because we're not going to stop at one gun, and we're going to continue to make law-abiding citizens pay for the atrocities. And that's why I'm upset. Because I want to find a solution. I just don't know where we can go as a country to find a solution. I've made this statement on Twitter, and I'm not a big Twitter fan, but I do Twitter a lot. But I have made this statement on Twitter, grandfather in, which means, to set it in concrete, that the people out there who have owned an AR-15 for at least 1 year can keep their firearm. And then end all sales on the AR platform. End all sales. Make it a classic. Because no one's ever going to be able to buy another AR-15 again. Just end the sales. I'm not saying ban the weapon, I'm saying end the sales. I don't think, someone who's owned a firearm for over a year has any intentions, because a lot of these people who have done these atrocities either just recently bought the firearm or had to steal it or borrow it or whatever. And I'm talking about everything I can think of, from shootings in California to all kinds of stuff. That they can legally or illegally obtain these firearms anyways. But, these people, if I'm not mistaken, this this recent one with the Stone Douglas, if I'm not mistaken, he just recently bought and purchased that firearm. I don't think he had it for a very long time. Sorry, I'm in a bad traffic situation. What I'm trying to say is, if we can nab that in the butt, maybe that'll change. And those who haven't owned an AR-15 for over a year, maybe we can get the manufacturers to do a buyback or a trade-in or something. I mean, I wouldn't mind, someone saying, hey, we're going to take AR-15, but we'll give you, a rifle to take its place. I mean, I know that's, people are saying, well, that's infringing on the Second Amendment, but it's a solution. No one's taking away your guns, which is what everybody wants. And I'm saying, if you haven't owned an AR-15 for over a year, let's give it some kind of incentive to turn your weapon in. I mean, then see, that's another thing. See, I'm infringing by thinking that way. I'm actually infringing upon the Second Amendment. But it just seems like the only solution I can come up with, and that's all I had to say. God bless America. I have to go to work, and y'all have a good day. Just my thoughts, my 10 cents worth. My thoughts are worth more than 2 cents. People say 2 cents worth. I'm throwing a whole dime in there. God bless America. Hoo-ah.